Well, Joy, this is our way of saying goodbye and thank you in these COVID times. Thank you for a wonderful run of 15 years as our Vice-Chancellor, during which you have done so much for the University of Winchester. Expanded our student numbers every year, built on our estate, established a reputation as one of the very best of the new universities, and particularly in our specialist fields of sustainability and social justice. And perhaps above all, shown us all how a truly values-led organisation can be a great success. For my part, it's been a great privilege to be part of the journey for the last 10 years, and particularly for the last 5 as the chair of the governors. I hope that we have been a good team. It's certainly been a great pleasure working with you, and despite some challenges, we've had good fun along the way. And now retirement, very well earned. I can't see you sitting quietly. I'm sure there will be other challenges to come, and we wish you well with them. But above all, thank you so much for all that you have done for the university. We shall remember you.
How to pay tribute to the Vice-Chancellor in 3 minutes. That is my central challenge. So let's see how it goes. Well, I begin by reflecting that joy is joy. One of the most striking things when I arrived at Winchester was that the Vice-Chancellor was not the Vice-Chancellor, but the Vice-Chancellor was joy, and always joy. Joy is joy. Everyone knows who you're talking about when you say joy. It's only conventional theologians like the First Deputy Vice-Chancellor and I who refer to the title more than the name. But perhaps we're missing a trick. Perhaps the name, joy, is telling us something worth tarrying on for a while. So what's joy telling us? Well, of course it's obvious, isn't it? But joy is an aptonym. Joy's name is remarkably apt for someone so full of life and energy. What else could joy be called other than joy? So, indulge me, if you will, while I reflect on 3 things, that, like an old preacher that I am, 3 things that joy as joy is telling us about joy. First of all, to be joyful is to take delight, and joy takes delight in Winchester. Joy is Winchester. The story of Winchester, its growth and its place in the sector, is indelibly bound up with the life that is Joy, her passion, her drive and commitment to the foundation. And Joy's impact on Winchester is everywhere, in what we eat, in what we teach, in what we hear, in how we've designed our buildings, in the space that occupies our buildings. And if Joy takes delight in Winchester, this is not a delight she hoards. It's in no small measure thanks to Joy that we have a beautiful campus, a campus in which we are invited to take joy. Secondly, joy brings people together. And this is far more than the instrumental world of networking. One of the joyful things about being a dean, and which I've experienced and all deans will have experienced, is that joy is remarkable at bringing people together, in seeing connections, in bringing the most fascinating people into contact with the university through her involvement in all manner of charities and organisations. Joy brings people together. And the third thing I want to say about joy as joy, And this perhaps is what we all want to be remembered for. But joy is kind. When I think of joy, I think actually of moments in which she has reached out in kindness to me, moments in which she shared such events as the birth of my children, which she sent, I can tell her now, the prize-winning cards from the most tasteful and beautiful cards we were sent, and moments too in which she reached out to me when my father was gravely ill. Joy is kind. No small thing to be remembered for. Joy is Winchester. Joy brings people together. Joy is kind. In more ways than one, let us thank God for joy.
I joined Winchester just about a year before Joy, and in many ways the institution we see today is unrecognisable from the small, slightly unsure of itself establishment that I visited in early 2005. Under Joy's leadership, this institution has blossomed, or to use a word that Joy and I once disagreed on, and I can admit I was wrong, flourished. Winchester is blessed with a naturally attractive campus, with lots of green space that many city universities lack. Joy's vision of a grown-up, modern university not only managed to maintain those green spaces, but has enhanced them while still growing and developing the physical estate. It would have been easy to build large anonymous buildings, but that is not Joy's way. Each building has been designed sensitively to keep a connection to the past whilst creating a coherent modern aesthetic that matches the growth, ambition, success and sustainability of the university she champions. But Joy has not just overseen the growth of the physical estate. Under her leadership, the institution has developed national and international reputations for research across many areas. And we have moved into whole new areas of education that would not have been possible without the strong vision and leadership that Joy has given Winchester. However, no matter how much physical change the university has undergone under Joy's leadership, there is one thing that remains as true today as it was at my interview. And that is something that at the time I couldn't pin down. It's the reason that, having gone to an interview a little bit ambivalent and thinking it would just give me some good interview practice, I got back on a plane to Scotland thinking I would be really disappointed if I didn't get the job. Not long after Joy became VC, I recall small cards being produced that had values on them for staff to carry. It would have been easy for a VC to stop there, identify some worthy-sounding values, print them on some cards, and Bob's your uncle. But the thing about Joy is, she didn't stop there. When Joy commits to something, she goes all in. Joy somehow managed to harness whatever that thing was that I felt at interview and articulate it into something tangible for people to understand. It's not unusual for institutions to have values, but it is unusual for institutions to really live those values. And I don't think that anyone would quibble with me saying that under Joy's leadership, the values have become central to all that this institution does. Joy's ability to articulate her passion for social justice and sustainability into something meaningful for a university has been impressive, as is her level of commitment to what she believes in. Joy has an energy that she uses to fuel her passion for access to education, supporting pioneering initiatives that have enabled cohorts traditionally excluded from higher education to gain Winchester degrees. And she has championed staff, enabling career progression and growing future leaders of the sector. All of this and many other achievements are underpinned by those values that Joy has threaded through the very fabric of Winchester. Joy, you have truly left your mark on Winchester. We shall miss you, but we wish you a wonderful retirement. We know it will not be taken at a slow pace, and I'm sure there will be many more achievements to come. As they say, in my part of the world, lang may your lum reek.
Everyone at Winchester Student Union wants to say a huge thank you, Joy, for everything that you've done for both students and the Student Union during your time at Winchester. Your hard work and dedication can be seen in the massive growth in student numbers, which has brought more diverse students to the university than we could have ever imagined. You've supported the Student Union through that, but also through your help back in 2007 when you helped us secure the space that we still have today in the King Alfred Centre, and we're super grateful for that. Your work on sustainability and social justice is truly reflected in the student body and the issues that they care about and are active on. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. We wish you all the best of luck in your next adventures, whatever they might be. And don't forget that we'll always welcome you back for a bop if you fancy.